Hey everybody, welcome to episode 7 of Around the Verse, coming at you from Cloud Imperium Games Austin.
Yeah!
I am here with my co-host, Mark Skelton.
Hello, Sandy. How are you?
Hello, I'm good.
You're looking fabulous as usual.
Why, thank you. You like my motion capture hat line? Is
yeah,
it still
I see
there?
that. Yeah, it's still there.
Yeah, there. You sucked my head in.
It's like you've been wearing a really tight hat for like an hour and a half.
Speaking of wearing, how's the gold shirt?
The gold shirt is sort of holding up. It's kind of fallen apart, but it's still in one piece, believe it or not. It's kind of gross, though. I will say it's a little bit funky.
Sharing.
Yeah. In a headlock
so
there.
I hear that you're going to donate this shirt.
Yes. So I've decided to auction off the shirt to Julie Crew's charity, which she was diagnosed with liver cancer, and her husband are Star Citizens. If you would like to donate, please look at the comments below. Or
the bottom of the screen.
Bottom of the screen right
That's where
here.
You can donate.
Whoever is the biggest donator wins said shirt.
But you can also just donate.
Please
I
just
would
donate.
like to donate, however, I don't want to win your shirt. No
I don't
offense.
think you want to win the shirt,
No,
but there are
no
people that want to, and I'm going to go ahead and say I'm sorry in advance for the mailman who has to deliver it.
You are really selling that well.
Yeah, I know.
I must say.
I know. My wife is happy that it's out of the house. She is happy about that.
Did she dare to wash that thing?
My kids are too. She dared a few times, but I wouldn't let her because it's better the way it is.
Thank you, Mrs. Skelton. Right, the winner for the 10 for the Chairman logo contest is...
Pleasure.
Yes, it wouldn't be right to not have a logo from Pleasure on one of our shows. What else?
The team is still working hard on patch 12.5. We'll let you know about the issues we're running into in the comlink, and it's not easy.
It is not easy. We would be doing it, but it's not so easy.
It's not so easy.
Not as easy as wearing that.
It's not as easy as sweating and wearing the gold shirt.
Ooh.
That's easy.
All right.
And that's what I'm doing.
Moving right along. We're also getting ready for the big event at Gamescom. We can't tell you what we're going to show off, but it is coming along nicely.
Yes, it's cool. Now, let's see the news around the verse.
Dogfighting module. The biggest news about dogfighting is that we are working on the rubber band issue. It's going well, and we're hoping to have a fix very soon. Foundry 42 is hard at work on New Horizon, the new game mode to be revealed soon. And the team is doing hood design and attachment work on several additional ships, including the 350R, Super Hornet, and Constellation.
So Squadron 42 news, the UK is supporting dogfighting and the Gamescom demo, as both things will be necessary for Squadron 42, but other work does continue, like big stuff. Concept work has begun on the on the Jan cargo ship. Yeah, the Jean cargo ship, which is a big sucker, and you guys will love it. White box for missions 1 and 3 are now at a playable stage, which is super cool. And work has begun on recently captured face data for the character animation side, and I have seen that, and it is pretty darn sweet.
Are you
You're
in
gonna
there?
be blown away. I am not in there.
No.
I can't be in there because of my beard. They'll make me shave it, and I refuse. I refuse to shave it.
Persistent Universe. The big focus of the PU team this week is cleanup and development of version 2.0 of the GDD. And what is GDD?
Well, for those that don't know, which I didn't know because I'm not a designer, GDD is the Game Design Document, and a TDD is a Technical Design Document. They're what we produce in-house to form a skeleton, which I thought that was skeleton.
I thought that said skeleton too.
Of Star Citizen, and that would be weird if it was me.
Team is doing research on volumetric cloud effects for atmospheres.
It's very cool, very cool.
They've imported the galaxy data for the first 5 systems, and they are all now in the right place in our universe. And we're enhancing the VFX for the newly refactored hangars.
Which are super cool, too.
That's
You're
super
working
cool
on
too.
those.
Everything's super cool for
I
you.
am working on those as we speak, and they are going to blow your mind. That's all I can say.
Grey boxing continues in the UK on the Gladiator, Javelin, Panther, Retaliator, and Gladius. They're very busy in the UK.
Yeah,
They're like clockwork there. Concept work on the 890 jump has been finished. Not that you've seen that anywhere. Team in Austin is working on the Anvil Carrot concept as well as variants of the Mustang. And finally, animation is hooking up the Constellation, M50, and Super Hornet.
Not a small task, Sandy. They're huge. And there's some really cool interactions that you do, especially with the Constellation. The toilet's all hooked up. You can use it. It's amazing.
I did some motion capture today, walking through the corridors of the
Oh,
Constellation.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now, let's go over to Will for this week's MVP.
Hey everybody, I'm lead moderator Will, here to bring you this week's MVP. This week's MVP goes to Zulu for his infographic thread showing off the different Star Citizen ship sizes. This is a fantastic tool, especially for any new backers. So thank you very much, Zulu. You're this week's MVP.
Thanks, William. Some of those ships are pretty big.
They are. They're huge.
Now let's go back to LA for Mark Aben and Bug Smashers.
I'm back.
Bug Smashers!
Hey everyone, welcome to Bug Smashers. This week we're going to talk about why the Hornet's top guns weren't firing. Alright, so we're in here in my little test map that I just threw together. It'll instantly transfer me into the Hornet when I go into game mode. And I'm able to shoot my Gatling guns, but my top turrets, which I clearly have, don't shoot. We had, our release branch merge into main, and the XMLs got contangled up, and they got screwed up where the ammo was requesting, consumption from the pipes. Like I am here holding down the fire button. So I'm gonna turn on my pipe debugger, which shows me everything that the pipes are doing. And look for the weapons. They're Clausen Warners. Where are they? Ah, there they are. They're the CLWELRS1Q2. Dan says the wrong name, but they work. Whatevs. And what's interesting is they're getting enough power, but I'm not able to shoot them. Did they have enough heat? And the pools weren't set up in the XML, which completely made the weapon fail from shooting because the ammo was requesting, energy from the pool, which did not exist, which caused it to fail. No heat, so I have enough power, and they're not overheating, so they should be able to shoot. Then the fix involved one code. If there is no pool and it's requesting from a pool, just let it go. Plug this bad boy in. We just found out that we can't consume something. And two, fix up the XML so that if we're requesting from a pool, we make sure that we have a pool. And what's interesting is the fire mode is requesting consumption from the pool, but our weapon has no pool. So what we're gonna do is add in a pool, save it, because down here in our fire modes we're requesting power, but our actual power pipe didn't have a pool, so I added one in. Remove these breakpoints, and then reload the items, and that allowed us to now, let the weapon fire because, we're requesting from the pool, and if it didn't have a pool and we're still requesting from a pool, just let it go. So now our guns fire. Woo! Woo! So it works as expected. Yay!
Thank you, Mark, from Mark, and there's a lot of Marks. I'm joined by a familiar face, Mr. Rob Irving, which I've met a few times. He is our Star Citizen's lead designer. How are you, Rob? How's it going?
Well, it's hot. Very hot.
Very hot. So did you just
How are you doing, Mark?
All right, we'll just roll. Just go ahead. Just talking to the camera and we'll go from there. I didn't know if that was...
You know,
right or
fly
not.
casual. Well,
So what's up, Rob? How are you, man?
I am busy, as
right.
always. And
I see you've been busy cutting your hair.
This has happened, yes.
So what was the deal with that? I remember you
It's a
talking
long and complicated story, but basically I donate it.
Your hair was a
cancer
long and
patients.
complicated
It was
story?
a 2 years in the making complicated story.
Was that really? That was 2
Yeah,
years?
it took 2 years of growing it out.
That's pretty hardcore.
It is.
Well, right on. Do you feel lighter?
I do. I felt very lightheaded all day, and
I don't think anybody recognized you when you walked in.
there were some startled looks, that's for sure. But part of it is just you feel like a different person almost when you get it's such a drastic change.
Yeah, I
know?
just cut my hair too, and it was very weird. Chris Smith asked me if my mother cut my hair this weekend, which was...
I figured you cut it yourself.
Yeah, exact Floby. I Flobied it this weekend. I thought it worked out well for me.
It's looking good.
All right, so
We have some questions.
if you guys don't know, this is Mr. Robert Irving. He is a lead designer here at Star Citizen. In case you didn't know, which I don't know who wouldn't know that.
Some people might not know.
Maybe some. So I have a few questions.
All right.
The first one is from GameWiz, which I could say that.
Easy one to pronounce.
What is your current primary project, i.e. designing persistent universe mechanics, arena commander modes, ship design concepts, etc.? What are you working on? What has been the most challenging aspect of your job?
My job, eh?
Your job. That's
So
French.
my primary project, I guess if you want to call it that, my major job is to manage the design team here. I mean, I've got 8 designers working for me now, so it's, that's a pretty full-time job. Plus it's coordinating with all the other teams, keeping track of what's going on at all the other studios in design so that we make sure that A, we're sharing the workload, and B, we're not stepping on each other while 3 people run off and design the same thing in different places. But my major goal as far as my design project here would be running the design for the persistent universe.
Yeah, how's that going?
We're moving along. We're prototyping merrily along.
Yeah, it's a big chunk of the
It's a
game.
very large chunk of the game.
Just,
And you
yeah,
can't
a
just
little
make
bit.
all these modules and stick them together and go, ta-da!
Yeah.
PU. There's a lot of connection
Right.
that has to happen there.
Right, it doesn't just magically happen. Okay, so the next question is from Cloud Kicker.
Cloud Kicker.
Cloud Kicker.
That's a good name.
For the Earth cities, will you still be able to recognize a lot of the historical architecture and neighborhoods, or will you bulldoze them over with giant, dark, monolithic structures? I'd like to be able to recognize Greenwich Village when walking around Manhattan.
Okay. Well, first things first. Don't assume that we're going to start out with you being able to walk everywhere in Manhattan on day one,
Right.
because that's just
Yeah, that
ludicrous.
sounds ludicrous.
You've seen the work that's gone into
Yeah,
just
that's-
making very small landing zones. So there will probably be some recognizable landmarks, both in the foreground and in the background, but it's going to be a subset to start with. Everything's going to start smaller and grow bigger. But yeah, I'd like, we're certainly, I mean, like the concept work has a lot of well-known buildings interspersed with the giant monolithic dark, what was the other word in there?
Yeah, let's see. Dark monolithic structures and bulldoze them over. Yeah.
I like the bulldozing part too.
Yeah, that's good.
New York's just flat now.
As far as like the architecture, historical architecture, it's not only going to be of like Earth that you know, but there's also going to be historical architecture from things that maybe haven't happened yet.
Exactly.
You know,
The world
and,
has changed a lot in 900 years.
right.
You would expect.
So I'm sure there'll be, like history and things you can dig into, like what is that, and then probably like backstories that you can get into on it and stuff like that.
Sure.
That's what makes a world like.
I'll let Dave know that he needs to do some more writing right
Yeah,
now.
right now.
Right now.
I want it. I need it.
And you probably won't be able to walk inside most of it to start with either, so
Yeah,
it'll just look pretty.
it'll look cool though. We won't bulldoze it all though.
No.
Okay, the next question is from Daniel. Easy.
And you got all the easy names.
I know, right? They are all easy. If you own a freelancer or some other ship that can carry cargo that isn't secured very well, what happens when your character is hit on the back of the head by some sort of heavy crate? will you be
time to think these things up.
punished? Will you be punished for your neglect and die, or will you perhaps lose control over your ship while you're unconscious and I don't know, bang into an asteroid?
This is not a scenario I have spent a lot of time thinking about. I'll go ahead and get that out there. It's like not the first thing that we're concerned about as far as game mechanics, whether or not you can get clunked in the head.
That does sound like an awesome scenario, though, right? You're like a space trucker cruising along with your donuts and your coffee, and you're like just about to bite one, and then bam! Your face goes like right into the dashboard.
So, in order of operations there for the mechanics we're working on, I would start with, first let me just have cargo.
Yeah.
And load it into my ship and fly around with it, all the normal stuff. And then maybe we'll worry about what happens when it's unsecured and you lose gravity or your ship gets hit or whatever.
Yeah.
Or you go flying around like a madman, so the cargo's just slinging around. But I would think that it would be really rude to kill the players just because they didn't.
I think, well, most of the
cargo
on the current ships are like contained within like the cargo chamber.
Yeah, and there should be doors, bulkheads between you and the cargo typically, because that way if you have to open your cargo bay, you don't get sucked, all your atmosphere sucked out of your pilot's cockpit.
But, if you decide to go back and take a poop or something, and then you get nailed, like in the meantime, then you could conceivably get squashed. Maybe, I don't know.
Sure, okay, now this scenario's gotten even more ludicrous. Okay, so a cargo crate falls on you while you're on the pod.
Yeah, while you're on the pod. It could happen, you never know, I don't know.
And then you pass out, and but it probably wouldn't kill you still.
Right, well, immersion.
That's the word. That is the word.
Okay, William George is next, and he has a question, and his question is, the current implementation of afterburners, where they increase your max speed while in use, then force you to slow back down, is that the intended design?
Really not a question for me.
If so, what is the reasoning behind it, especially forcing a slowdown afterwards?
Well, I mean, the whole reason for the ships flying at the speeds they fly at is already that we limit your speed so that you can maneuver without squishing yourself into a paste on one wall or the other of your ship. So, I mean, afterburner is intended to be used as a temporary escape tactic. The thing I've seen in most games like this is if they work that way, then what happens is everybody's always on afterburner. So there's no point in even having them at that point, because it's like you're never going to, why would you go any slower, if you don't have to?
Right.
So it's you jack it up really quick, you go really fast for the rest of the fight.
So what about the friction? Like, so if
there
you
is no friction.
burn the crud out of it, and then do you just keep, I guess eventually you're going to slow down.
Your ship tries to slow you back down to its proper maneuvering speeds. That's always been the fiction. I mean, so even if you go fast temporarily because you're trying to get out of a jam, then it'll slow back down to proper maneuvering speeds again.
Gotcha. Sounds fascinating. Amontillado?
Ooh, really? Amontillado. That's a Poe reference. The cast of Amontillado.
All right, I suck.
Is it Amontillado?
I totally screwed up his name. Amontillado.
Yeah,
all right, Amontillado. There you go. All right, sorry. There's still a lot of confusion over what max crew means in the ship stats page. Can you elaborate for us what is meant by this and how restrictive you imagine that it will be?
Well, if you think about the ship stats are kind of like this massive troll where all we're doing is trying to make them have something to complain about, right? That's really, I think that's what everyone believes about the ship stats, is that all we're doing is messing with them. So if you read some of the responses, that it seems to be the running opinion.
So how many people can you like shove in a constellation? Can you just fill that thing up from like rim to rim and have a huge party in it?
Yeah, the way we look at max crew, that is the number of functional seats, numbers with seat actions attached to them. Unlike, beds don't count. It's just pilot seats, co-pilot seats, gunner seats, turret seats. That's what we look to for max crew. So when you see that number, all it's saying is these are the people you would have to fly it at its most efficient. Mm-hmm. It's not limiting the number of passengers. It's not saying you couldn't have other people in there. You could have, like on your Starfarer, I think it crews at 3 or something, a very small crew. Doesn't need much to run it.
Right.
But you could have, 4 guys in the ship to fly it, and 4 guys in beds resting, and just rotate through all the time if you wanted to. There's nothing to stop you from doing that. All that's saying is the number of seats that we have that are active seats. And those will possibly change in some cases when we see the art and go, oh, well, that needs another crew or 1 fewer crew or whatever.
So what about if if you're only one dude, you can hire people to help you, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
Or you can get your friends.
Yeah, or what about bots? Can you hire bots to help?
AI, yeah, they'd be AI passengers. Yeah, they're not robots. We don't do androids.
Right, but they would help you out.
They will probably not be as good as most pilots.
You think?
Yeah.
I would hope not. Well, I think that's all the questions that we have for you right now. It was nice seeing you again. Well, seeing you again, I see you every day. You're like 2 offices down from me. I mean, I see you all the time. So.
Constantly.
Wow,
we have
really
enough meetings.
Seeing you.
Really great to see you out on the porch where it's hot.
Yeah, sweating profusely. So I think that's it. Thank you very much for answering the questions, and we'll talk to you later.
See ya.
Hey everybody, welcome to the first episode of Dev Dogfight. I'm Willy Wonka Lewis here with James Pew Pew Pew.
How you guys doing?
This week we'll be seeing Chai Tea Chad go up against Brandon.
Wow, I've been this excited, Will, since that time I showed up Taco Bell with no pants on.
And let's get to the action.
Scanning.
All right.
Brandon trying to get first strike.
Yeah, that looks like Brandon took the first hit.
Oh, wow.
Oh!
Oh, wow, I took a missile hit.
Offline.
Looks like Chad has decided to go strafing. Let's see how that works out for him.
Don't tell me. Yeah. There we go.
Oh, not so well.
Oh, Chad is cheating. I see. If I hurt him, he'll kill himself so that I can't score.
Oh, Brandon caught on to the cheating. Let's go to the judges, make sure that's okay. Yes, it is.
75%. Alert.
Oh, Brandon dodged that missile like Jagger. Oh, and Chad took the blow.
Like
Another one for Brandon.
That wasn't very cool.
It was not very cool.
No, it was,
It was
not
awesome.
very. All right, Chad's got a missile lock. Let's see how well Brandon deals with it. Oh, evaded again. But he does not survive.
2-1. If you don't count his suicide,
And we
Which
don't.
we don't.
Is
Brandon sounds
offline.
mad.
Brandon's always fair.
Scanning.
You're like, yeah, I had no Gatling guns.
Well, that's because you suck.
Oh, got a bit of
Oh.
trash talk. Oh, Brandon's got a couple friends coming to cheer him on.
Shields charging.
They are critical. I wish they wouldn't be so critical.
Shields charging. Flare.
Give him a little bit of pep talk, tell him what to do. Where'd that guy come from?
We're just multiplying.
75%. Flare. Forward shield
Ah.
down. Target destroyed.
What's that make it? 4-2?
4-2? Where did we get that extra score from?
Shut it. You're not in
3-2,
this,
I'm up by
you're not
3,000.
in this video.
He may have cost me the kill, but it knows I hurt him the time he killed himself.
Scanning. Shields.
Fine.
Shields charging. Port off shields. 25.
Lots of gunfire, lots of evading, lots of nothing happening.
Locked. Alert. Forward shields down.
Oh, Chad is down for the count.
Destroyed.
Here's a fun fact, Chad. I didn't use any flares on that.
That is a fun fact.
Really?
I dodged 3 of your missiles.
Really?
And killed you.
Oh, why aren't the missiles working as well as they usually do?
Oh, there goes Chad blaming the equipment.
You're too close. You're doing it wrong.
They turn around. I see them turn around plenty of times.
Just get good. Chad's always mad.
Forward shields.
Didn't dodge that one.
I did not.
So who do you think's gonna win the rest of this match?
I don't know.
Dev tracker, because I was
Dev
gonna
trackers.
say, yeah.
This is the
I
this is
could
the bug.
not get the word.
This is
tracker
the
out of my
bug
brain.
the bug smashers
Yeah.
dev dogfight pushed together. It's all
Dev dogfight and
synergy
Chai
together,
Tea
man.
Chad. All right.
Guess what, Mark?
Oh my gosh.
What?
What?
Are we gonna play
You
this
gotta
joke?
tell. You gotta tell me what.
It's
I
a
don't
hazy
like
thought.
these
Come
jokes.
on, give me a hazy thought first.
I don't. I can't. Right off the bat.
Is that hazy thought? There's your hazy thought.
What? What is what?
Oh, I like that one. What is what?
What is what, Sandy? What is what?
We also have an all-new Inside CIG piece releasing tomorrow, showing off our development of the planet-side portion of the game.
And we will leave you this week with a art sneak peek, which is really cool. A quick look at the updated business hangar.
Ooh.
Dum dum dum.
Ta-da.
It's very businessy. You'll love it.
That's not yours.
It is. I worked on it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it your sneak peek?
Is that my sneak peek?
I don't know, I'm just
hangar.
asking. Why are you looking at your paper?
I don't know what I'm looking at.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, look, this is a different one. This was a half
When in
one that I
Rome.
did. Yeah.
Nice. Are you gonna?
Only small.
That just sounded like you were gonna hawk a loogie.
I
at me.
almost did. All on the table. So,
Oh boy.
so the last time I saw you and this gold shirt was the Next Great Starship, which was awesome. The finale, which was a lot of fun. Thanks for the fans for coming out to that. That was super cool. We had a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, you shimmied down a pole.
I did, and almost died doing it. I didn't think that thing would hold me. Why was there even a pole there? I have no idea.
I do not know,
was
but
weird.
you did it quite well actually. And the gold shirt's probably got a bit of the
Yeah.
couple of.
Yeah, it's got some skid marks on it from going down the pole. It was funny because we were trying to talk Chris Roberts into doing it, but
we could not get him to go
He's
down
like,
that
get
pole.
the class clown to do it. Mark will do
He's like,
anything.
yeah, I think Mark Skelton will do that.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
what could I do?
yeah.
I had to do it. It was fun though. It was great seeing all the fans, and it was a great event.
Well, thank you for co-hosting with me today.
Well, thank
and
you for
wearing your
having me.
gold shirt and drawing my. Ooh, where'd it go?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh,
Missing
here
in
it is,
action.
here it is.
Yeah, welcome to Texas, Sandy. Come back soon, y'all. Here.
All right, guys. Well, we will see you next week on.
Round the verse.
Hey guys, check out the top 10 wackiest QA bugs found this month. Number 10. Number 9. Number 8. Number 7. Number 6. Number 5. Number 4. number 3. Number 2. And number 1.